Welcome to Mind Over Metal Podcast. Heavy metal and hard rock news, discussion and review. Alright, and welcome to episode 14 of Mind Over Metal Podcast, and we are broadcasting live for the very first time on mindovermetalpodcast.com. Just go to the website, click chat and listen, and you can find the player, and that's what we're fucking playing. Joined as always by Metal Mike. What's up, Mike?
I'm doing alright, brother. How you been, man?
Not too bad, man. Good to be back on. We were doing so well there for a few weeks. We were like really consistent, and then nothing for 2 weeks, is it?
I think no, it's been maybe a week and a half, dude, because remember you went out of town. Originally we were going to get together, and then you had to go out of town and take care of some business. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, brother, we already told the listeners, look, as much as we'd love to do a weekly podcast, we don't want to say, yes, we're a weekly podcast, and then have our listeners be like, well, fuck, man, when they go to check out our shit and it ain't there. Yeah. So that's when we decided, well, for sure we're going to be a bi-weekly podcast, which so far we have been. We have not broken, we haven't went so far to where like, oh, fuck, we're really late.
Yeah, we're bi-weekly, and sometimes we throw you that extra episode, in between.
Right. The way I look at it, if we do this and then you post it afterwards, it's going to make August for RATT month. So the deadline still, it's not like we're going over.
Yeah, well, it's going out live now, so it's be downloadable straight away once we finish up.
There you go, man. So, yeah, I think that was a good idea, especially in light of, the fact that August ends tomorrow. So, yeah, I think we're good to go, man. You know?
Awesome. Cool. So, what has been going on in the world of Mike Tyler in the last 2 weeks?
Oh, fuck, man. Working, doing the radio thing. I want to give a big congratulations to the Rock and Pod Expo. It sounds like it was a resounding success. I was planning on going, and keep in mind, I was planning on going before we started this endeavor of doing this podcast with you, because at the time when they announced this, I was just concentrating pretty much on my radio show. At that point in time, I had my radio show, plus we were doing the Nights of the Turntable. It was me, DJ Guilty, and somebody who's no longer with the station. They went to form their own station, DJ Jeff. And I was concentrating on that, but it was still like, well, man, this will be really cool if we can do this, because maybe I can meet some of the other DJs, meet Ralph and Ian and Ken Mills and a lot of guys that and of course, the guys who basically organized the event, Chris Sinzak and Aaron Camaro of the Decibel Geek podcast. I mean, I thought it'd be a really cool idea, but then of course, my mom got sick and she died, and things have just kind of went. So it's just, there was no way I could do it, because I had to take time off of work to take care of her. So consequently, I'm behind on my bills.
Yeah. And
it was like I just couldn't afford to take a road trip. Believe me, I wanted to. I planned on it. Me and DJ Kane were going to go, and it just didn't. It's just one of them things. But I'm glad to see that it was a resounding success, because that tells me, okay, well, they're probably going to do another one next year, I'm sure. I will definitely go to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it looked amazing. I seen some killer photos, videos. Bushy was there. That was pretty cool. Scott Stein, he was there. I think I seen a few other people that we knew, but it looked like such a killer day, and well done to the guys involved.
Absolute blast, man, and I couldn't be happy for him. And apparently, Ralph said he caused a bit of controversy. I guess one of the dudes from Nelson got all pissy about, them burning or tearing up a Hagar or whatever the fuck it was. Which I'm like, yeah, but it's Nelson. Like, I could give a fuck less. I don't mean to sound like a dick, but, I'm sure that, Chris and Aaron went to a lot of trouble to get him to show up, but I'm not an elf.
Yeah.
So I'd been like, oh, I offended those posers? Cool. And I feel I shouldn't say that because it makes me come across like a complete dick. I'm not trying to, but I'm just not a fucking fan.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
But other than that, dude, just basically being DJ Metal Mike, which is a full-time job unto itself. And then being Mike Tyler is even another thing. So,
yeah.
Living life, man. I mean, that's all, you know how it is.
Yep, good.
You take one step forward and life kicks you in the balls, and you take 2 steps back.
Absolutely. So, and the Metal Mike show went well at the weekend. Oh, no, you didn't have a show, did you? Oh, no, you did.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
You were on after me.
Before I didn't, because I went to my buddy's 40th birthday bash. But, yeah, I had a great show. Had a lot of fun, man.
Okay.
A lot of fun. Like I always do, though, man. I love interacting with the listeners and playing metal and, going off about shit that pisses me off. I mean, the listeners seem to like it, so sometimes they fucking get me wrong. Like I noticed my good friend Warpig, as he calls himself, a DJ.
Yeah. Is this the Danzig requests?
Yeah, motherfucker. Like you're trying to poke the bear.
Yeah, motherfuckers was trying to do it on my show as well, and I was like, no.
Oh, God damn it,
But I actually told them that the next time I was on air, I would play Danzig for them. So
right, they want me to play Danzig and then get on the air and completely rip him to shreds. I can do that.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Right. I mean, I'm like, you act like you're punishing me here. You're not. That just gives me an excuse to... I mean, I know that's why Warpig did. He's like, oh, fuck, I want to hear Metal Mike go off again. Yeah. I know that's what it was. It worked.
Yep.
Can't fucking stand that motherfucker, man. At all. At all.
Yeah, well, I'm good.
Sammy Hagar. Okay, well, there was Monstrous, and I like some solos, Sammy. Because, I'm one of those fans that... I'm not a huge Hagar fan, don't get me wrong, but I'm one of those people that feel that Van Halen... And everybody goes, oh, Sammy Hagar ruined Van Halen. Well, you know what? Van Halen ruined Sammy Hagar, too. It was a mutual thing. They mutually neutered each other. And neither artist was ever the same afterwards. At least Van Halen got David Lee Roth back in the mold. But fuck, I haven't given a fuck about anything Hagar's done since. Just can't get into it, man.
Yeah.
It's just not... I'll take Montrose and the first few solo Hagar albums, and I'm fine with that, man.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, one thing we do give a fuck about is RATT.
Yes. I think maybe part of the thing with Sammy Hagar, though, for me, is you gotta understand the area I live in, dude, the St. Louis Metro East area. For whatever reason, Sammy's like a god here. I don't quite understand why.
Yeah.
But he is. He's a big deal here, man. So it's like kind of like where I've always been kind of like, I felt like I kind of had Hagar shoved down my throat a little bit. Ugh. And maybe that's why I'm the world's biggest fan. But I don't hate Sammy. Now, Glenn Danzig, I fucking despise him. And, man, this episode, oh boy.
Yep, this is part 3 of the retrospect, the first of the theme months. Yep, third and final, hopefully, because I don't think we're going to have enough time to squeeze in another episode tomorrow before the month's out. So
this will be it, man. We've got 3 albums to cover, and wow, I'm going to come across as a complete dick in this episode, I think. I'm afraid.
Yeah, and I know why. All I'm going to say, I think the reason why is because his initials is DC.
Oh, fuck, dude. This guy. This motherfucker. Yeah. I mean, as much as I didn't care for Reach for the Sky, bro, that I felt they were kind of just going through the motions, at least they still somewhat sounded like fucking RATT. This shit is regurgitated 80s Aerosmith with Bon Jovi mixed in. Jesus Christ, they even got Bon Jovi singing one of the goddamn songs.
Yep.
It's fucking... Ooh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It... Oh, Oh, God, dude. I mean, I want to know how much RATT paid Desmond Child to produce this album. I mean, can they get their money back?
Yeah.
This shit is atrocious, man.
And this,
I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh on it, but oh my God, I did not like it at all.
This was the first album to not go platinum as well.
Exactly. You know, it was like, and I don't know whether it's, unfortunately, at this point in their career, RATT's a rudderless ship. I mean, you got Robin, who's all fucking whacked out on heroin. They're all going through their deals anyway. You know, their personal issues, I think. Like any band, probably sick of each other at this point in time. You know, because when you spend that much time with people, after a while, people are going to rub you the wrong way. No matter how much you love them, then they love you.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows, dude. Like, I felt like with Reach for the Sky, like, I almost feel like I was too critical of that record now. Because they really didn't do a lot for me.
Yeah. There's a lot better songs, though, on Reach for the Sky than this fucking thing.
By far. By far, dude. And don't even get me started on 1999. Yeah, I'm not real big on that one either. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Yep.
So basically, you're on the same page as me, Mac. You really ain't big on this record.
No, not at all. I'll tell you now. There's two songs I give a fuck about, and fuck everything else. Couldn't care if I never heard it again. It's just such a disappointment.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it's funny because this is obviously the last album to feature Robin Crosby and bassist Juan Crucier. He left.
He did.
Crosby departed the group in 1991 following the Japanese leg of the Detonator tour. And, of course, we all know he died in 2002 following a heroin overdose. Yeah, this was... And it's funny because RATT, to me, they were like the originators, or one of the originators of the glam metal movement. And they always kind of had a pop sensibility to their music, but like we've always said, with the first three records, I felt it was a perfect mixture of the metal and the pop. The problem with even Reach for the Sky, and especially this record, it's definitely much more pop, and oh my God, can I hear the 80s Aerosmith in this shit. It's fucking terrible. Well, you know, and I love Aerosmith, but I'm a 70s Aerosmith guy. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't really care if your fucking dude looks like a lady, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I know they sold a lot of records, but I remember as a kid always going, what the fuck happened to Aerosmith? And then later I found out, they were using outside writers. No wonder it doesn't sound like fucking Aerosmith anymore. Anyway, you want to take this off the top, brother?
Right, how do I get the fucking track list? Right. Okay. Do you know what? Looking at it, first three tracks, the intro to Shame, which is what? An intro. Shame, Shame, Shame. Loving You is a dirty job. They are the only tracks I like, and fuck everything else on this piece of shit album. That is my review of 1990s Detonator.
Damn,
over to you,
dude.
Mike.
Well, here's my notes. Intro to Shame, written by DeMartini. And then, of course, I wrote Shame, 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 written by Percy, Desmond Child, and DeMartini. Should have been the name of the album, because this is shameful.
Yeah.
Already hating this record. Pointless instrumental that goes fucking nowhere. Fucking chorus sucks. Typical Desmond Child crap. Fucking terrible. That's my notes as I'm listening to the record.
For Shame, Shame, Shame?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't Love It, Use a Dirty Job, written by Percy, DeMartini, Crucier, Child. An okay tune. Can see why they picked it for a single. Best song on the album. At least it has some semblance of a RATT song. Still has that 80s lame-ass Desmond Child shit-like quality. I can actually hear Steven Tyler singing this shit. Sounds like horrible 80s era Aerosmith. I love 70s Aerosmith, folks, is what I wrote. 80s, not so fucking much. Scratch that itch. Percy Crucier Child. Not feeling this shit either. Sounds like RATT's trying to sound all like all the other crap metal bands. and at the time, the knockoffs and imitators of bands like them. And then I got underlined RATT imitating people imitating them. What the fuck is this shit? Number 5, One Step Away. This one's written by Percy Blotzer. Oh, fuck. Blotzer actually contributed to another song.
Yep.
D. Martini, Crusader, and Child. Oh, this sounds just like crap-ass Aerosmith. Are these songs that Desmond Child couldn't get on an Aerosmith album? Fuck, my ears are bleeding. 6. Hard Time describes the effort for me to listen to this piece of shit. It's by Percy and Child. Nice guitar work, though. I even put nice guitar work throughout the record. I mean, there is some good soloing and stuff, but it's just not enough. Fuck Desmond Child. Fuck him eternally is what I put. Heads I win, tails you lose. Leftover shit he couldn't get on pussy-ass Bon Jovi record.
Oh, actually, I forgot. I actually don't mind that song.
Oh. John Bon Jovi backing vocals, and then I put yay.
That's why I like it.
Horrible shit. Or shite, you Irish.
Shite.
All or nothing. Yeah, this sounds like, it's all or nothing, alright. Oh, shit. This sounds like another 80s Aerosmith track. Total shit. Then we got Can't Wait on Love. I actually was kind of nice about this. I said, first song that actually sounds somewhat, sort of, kind of like RATT. Not great, but not fucking horrible. Giving yourself away. And then I put Diane fucking Warren. This is fucking putrid shit. Worse than the song she wrote with Paul Stanley. That horrible Turn on the Night from the Craptacular Crazy Nights.
Oh, that's a great song.
I'm not a big fan of that album either, folks. And I don't want to miss a thing. Flatulence would sound better. Collaboration of two fucking cats and Yoko Ono and Lee Gerstmann would sound better. I love you, buddy. I kind of feel bad about writing that down. Top Secret. This shit sucks shit. This sucks shit through. Just fucking awful, dude. Awful. Like, and I feel horrible saying that because RATT, when it came to the first generation glam band, they were my favorite over Dokken, over Motley Crue. You know, I loved RATT. You know, and I just kind of feel like, what the fuck happened, man? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
It's no wonder I kind of tuned out. I'm glad I tuned out with Reach for the Sky originally. Because you gotta be honest, I never really listened to Detonator. I heard Lovin' You's a Dirty Job, and by that point, Mac, I was so into the thrash metal movement, I kind of just was like, you know, because even the glam metal bands I love kind of getting away from, they were, again, RATT was copying bands that copied them. You know, and I want to hear that. You know, it's like, that's not my RATT.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So it seems like for the most part, though, we're pretty much on the same page. I think maybe I'm a bit harsher in my criticism than you were.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, dude, I didn't dig this record like at fucking all.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit makes fucking Reach for the Sky sound like a goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. This is a fucking horrible record.
It's funny because I said last, you know, Low Hill, it shows his fingerprints are all over this album. Well, goddamn, fucking Desmond Child raped RATT in this record. Like, it's not just his fingerprints, his cock is all over the record. And like, it's cock and balls, just fucking terrible. God damn, dude, fucking horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, I agree. It was, John. I think Reach for the Sky was the beginning of the end, but there's still a lot of good tunes on that album. But this was just a total turd sandwich. Bar the two songs, 2.5 songs that I like. Fuck this record. Such a disappointment.
It really is, man. And I know RATT has a lot of hardcore fans, and I just want to say, man, I love RATT, so please don't get mad at me for hating this record, man. I mean, to me, if you're really a RATT fan, I don't see how you could like this record. Like, I don't see how you could be a fan of the first 3 albums plus the incredible EP they did before and go, yeah, this is good. I just don't, no, this is not good rap music. This is fucking terrible, man. Like, I would buy 2 copies of this album, okay? One to fucking shit on, the other to cover it up. It's fucking horrible, okay?
Yeah.
I give, what my review for this album? I give it the fucking finger, man. I give it the finger.
No fucking devil horns.
Detonator. You know what Detonator was? Detonator was, it should have been called Detonation, because it just totally ruined the band and almost their career.
Yeah. Yeah, great review, my friend. Fucking loved it.
Well, thank you.
I'm
sure you can feel the passion in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Killer. Right, so where are we? That was 1990. So after Detonator, they had a not so successful tour in support of that album.
Yeah.
I'll let you take it away, Mike. You're better at this shit than me.
Well, basically what ended up happening, let me grab my notes here real quick. I got them here somewhere. Yes. RATT's 5th album, Detonator, of course, was released in August 1990. Sir Arthur Payson took over as producer for the band, following Beau Hill's departure after the lackluster results for Reach for the Sky. The album garnered mixed reactions. Critics claimed it lacked the live-sounding energy of the band's earlier work, while some claimed the sound more akin to hair metal, especially when compared to their raw early works, but still showing a band of experienced and refined musicians maturing and striving to expand their sound. Detonator featured among its tracks Giving Yourself Away, RATT's only power ballad, yeah, co-written by Piercy and Diane Warren. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Diane, thank you. And Lovin' You's a Dirty Job. You know what? No, listening to this record was a dirty job. I felt dirty listening to this album. The band co-wrote most of the album's songs with Desmond fucking Child, while John fucking Bon Jovi appeared as a guest background vocalist on Heads I Win, Tails You Lose. You sure fucking right we lost. We lost hardcore having to listen to that piece of shit. Detonator's sales were around 800 to 900,000. Robin Crosby played on the album, acknowledged in a KNAC interview. Despite rumors to the contrary, Juan Crusade stated on his message board that Robin's guitar parts are on the disc, but were low in the mix. Plagued by addiction for some time, Crosby authored just one song, Can't Wait on Love, and contributed notably to another, All or Nothing. Yeah, well, it was a lot of nothing, this record. Crosby entered the rehab facility during the early stages of recording. During the 7 shows of the Japanese leg of the Detonator tour in February of '91, Crosby's substance abuse had reached a point where his playing had become more increasingly inconsistent on stage. The band had already moved the acoustic intro to Back for More, which is a fucking shame, because I love the intro, which Crosby performed, along with modifying sections of other songs that featured him as lead guitarist. During one particular show, after the band performed 2 songs using non-standard tunings, Crosby did not properly switch out guitars with his guitar technician. As a result, he was not in tune with the band for the next 2 songs. The last show of the Japanese tour in Osaka turned out to be Crosby's last with RATT. He would not record or perform with the band again. When the band returned to the United States, Crosby checked in again into a rehab facility, and RATT continued on with Michael Schenker, formerly of Scorpions, UFO, Michael Schenker Group, and Macaulay Schenker Group.
Yes, fucking sad that. Did you ever see that footage, Mike, of that last show where
No.
there is footage floating around? Now, thinking on it, it might have actually been shown in the MTV or VH1, whatever the fuck it was. You know, the behind the music where they showed. I think it was that documentary where it actually shows him just totally fucking up, and he's that out of it. He doesn't even realise. You know, he's playing away the song, and like Juan, the rest of the band are just look at him as much to say, "Motherfucker, what are you doing?" And you know, it was unfortunately his last ever appearance with the band. But you gotta feel for him. Fuck, that guy, he had it all and ended up with nothing. You know, it's so fucking sad. It
is, man. I mean, especially when people partake of self-destructive behavior like that. Because what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do, man? I mean, it's when somebody gets the monkey on their back like that. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't want to sound like a judgmental prick, but I just don't see the attraction to heroin. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get why, especially now when people know what heroin is and what it does, why anybody in their right mind be like, yeah, I want to fucking try that. I want to chase the dragon. You know what? Fuck the dragon. Fuck the dragon up his fucking ass. It ain't worth it. You fuck with the dragon, what's going to happen? You're going to get burned, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Why anybody would want to fuck around with that shit? I don't get it. Like, weed I can get. Acid even I can get. I can even kind of understand coke to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. Okay, so where do we pick up from, bro?
Right, we're back. That was a bit of a... Oh, I have a bit of feedback. This is just the joy of fucking new technology, trying out the live broadcast. And, of course, the first time we try it, it fucks up. But, yeah, we were talking about Robin, his, the last couple of shows in Japan that ultimately led to his him leaving the band and never to work with him again.
Yeah. Well, basically, I went off kind of a small tangent about drugs, or certain kinds of drugs I just don't understand. And I'm just like, man, Robin, what the fuck were you thinking? But like you said, in some cases, some people are already loaded on other shit. And then some guy comes up and goes, hey, you want to try this?
Yeah.
Sure. And then they get hooked. But then I also know some people I've talked to that actively look, and I'm like, why would you ever want to be like, hey, I want to try heroin? I don't get it, man. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
You may as well just take a gun to your head and play Russian fucking roulette.
Yep.
Anyhow, yeah, that was the end of Robin pretty much. And apparently, after that, they were featured on the first season of MTV Unplugged. It was to promote their most current album and the new single, and sharing the stage with all-female rock band Vixen. Michael Schenker performed with RATT at the time of this taping. And then they released their final single of their career until 2010's Best of Me, which was Nobody Rides for Free, which appeared on Point Break soundtrack album. The song video clearly signaled change in the band. Robin Crosby did not participate in the recording of the song and was not present for the shooting of the video, in which only the four remaining members appeared. The band
I like that song.
Or performed with the original 5 members. Atlantic Records released a greatest hits compilation entitled Rat and Roll 81-91 in September of 1991. The album featured 5 songs from Detonator, more than any other album featured on the compilation. It also featured the aforementioned song Nobody Rides for Free.
What the fuck were they thinking about, by putting 5 songs from Detonator on a Best of RATT?
Their shittiest fucking record at that time. And then they went on hiatus from 92 to 96. In February of 1992, Steve Pearcy exited the group to form a new hard rock heavy metal band with former Cinderella drummer Fred Corey called Arcade. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all.
In 1995, the industrial tinged Vortex in 1996. Robin Crosby started Secret Service, which included bassist Chris Parato from Samantha 7 and Juice 13. Never heard of them. In 1993, Crosby performed on Rumble Dog's self-titled debut album. Warren DeMartini, who left after Percy in 1992, was in White Snake in 1994 and issued 2 solo releases, the single Surf's Up in 1995 and the album Crazy Enough to Sing to You in 1996. Bobby Blotzer renewed the carpet cleaning business. Yeah, he should have stayed in that business. Fuck that guy. Juan Crucier continued to produce underground bands from a studio called The Cellar, and in 1994 received a Lifetime Achievement Award in Los Angeles. Crosby was there. During that time, Crosby was diagnosed with HIV, which later developed into AIDS. And then they did their first reunion and self-titled album, and that's from 96 to 2000. In 1996, the 5 classic era members of RATT began discussing a reunion and a subsequent album. After a publishing contract had to be renewed, after a meeting with Crosby, it was decided that he was not in any physical shape to record and perform. the talks continued to progress, bassist Juan Crucier made the decision not to participate in the reunion as well. Rudy Sarzo was first thought as a replacement, but he would end up rejoining Quiet Riot in January of 97. RATT eventually moved forward with Piercy, DeMartini, and Blotzer, along with new member Robbie Crane, formerly of Vince Neil's solo band and Piercy's Vertex tour, on bass. When the band toured in 1997, they were a four-piece. Piercy occasionally played guitar during this tour. The band issued a compilation album called Collage in July of 97, which consisted of B-sides, alternate recordings, and new versions of songs from the Mickey RATT period. Now, see, that is a compilation I wouldn't mind listening to.
Yeah, I don't have that. I have it on MP3 format, but I don't have it on CD.
I wouldn't mind hearing though, Mac, just because it's different and they're offering all, but fuck RATT and their old 80 fucking 5 songs from the worst fucking album.
Yeah.
Let me fucking crap. Hey, let's do 5 fucking songs from their worst selling album. That's what the fans want to hear.
Yeah. Whoever came up with that fucking idea needs to kick up the hole.
Oh, the hole, the sack, and the whole fucking junk, dude. Like, what the fuck, man? Man, somebody was smoking crack when they made that decision.
Yeah.
In 1998, RATT secured a worldwide record deal with Sony. The self-titled RATT album, released in July 1999, featured new material with a more conventional blues rock feel, with A&R guru John Kalodner, oh god, in control over how the album turned out, bringing in outside writers in the process. Yeah, because that's always a good fucking thing. The album did not come close to the platinum success that RATT typically achieved, though the album's first single, Over the Edge, did graze the top 40 mainstream rock charts. Okay, now, that gives us right here to 1999. You want to take this one, Mac? Or do you want me to?
No, to be honest, I haven't even listened to that album in years. I'm not familiar with it at all.
You know what? I just recently listened to it for the first time. And I know some people are like, well, if you were real RATT, you would have bought the record. Well, by this point in time, I didn't even know RATT put out a record. I thought they were gone. Okay? So anyway,
I don't have this album. Never had it.
Yeah. Well, here's my notes. Shall I begin?
Yep, please.
It's self-titled album. I call it 1999. I refuse to call it self-titled because there's only one self-titled record. It's an EP, and it's a fucking classic. This, track 1. Well, for one thing, it was released on July 6, 1999, recorded 98 to 99 at Rumbo Recorders, Canoga Park, California. Producer Richie Zito. The first song, Over the Edge, written by Todd Jeremias, Piercy DeMartini. Very bluesy, almost kind of grungy. Not necessarily bad, but does not sound like RATT. If I hadn't read Stephen Piercy was the vocalist, I would never even know it. It doesn't sound like him or RATT to me.
Yeah.
Right off the top, I'm not taking this record because to me it's like, it's kind of funny. People want to get like you. I know you are not a fan of Kiss's Carnival of Souls. Well, to me, this is RATT doing the same thing.
Okay.
In my opinion. Okay, RATT, track 2, Live for Today. This was written by Blotzer. Whoa, Blotzer actually writes a few songs on this. No wonder it sucks. Piercy DeMartini and Jack Russell.
From Great White?
Whitesnake, yes. It's just more of the same shit. It doesn't sound like RATT at all. It's not horrible, but it's not all that great. It's another ho-hum track. Track 3, Gave Up, Given Up by Piercy DeMartini and Marty Fredrickson. Fucking terrible is what I put.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Fucking terrible is what I put.
Nice.
Then we got track 4. I don't know why everybody's fucking calling me today.
You're a man in demand.
I guess so, man. Always when I'm busy, though. Anyway, so, I just put fucking terrible. Track 4, We Don't Belong by Martini, Piercy, and Fredrickson. Every song sounds exactly the same. It's got a fucking acoustical intro. And then I put, fuck this shit. Track 5. we have Breakout by Blotzer, Piercy, DeMartini, and Russell. Wait, a track that doesn't have an acoustical intro? This sounds just like what it is. Typical 90s post-grunge generic rock. That was my note. Tug 6, Tug of War, DeMartini, Piercy, and Taylor Rose. This sounds nothing like RATT, I put. Track 7, Dead Reckoning by DeMartini, Piercy, and Jack Blades. This shit is trying way too hard. It's fucking terrible. I mean, you're sensing a pattern here, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Track 8, Love Sick. Love, L-U-V. DeMartini, Piercy, and Rose. Trying to be fucking 80s Aerosmith. God damn it, I put. Track 9, It Ain't Easy, Piercy, DeMartini, Rose, and Richie Zito. Another minors listening to this album. That's what I... Trying too hard to be Aerosmith, but not killer 70s Aerosmith. Shitty 80s and 90s Aerosmith. Track 10, All the Way. Piercy, DeMartini, Mark Hudson, Steve Dudas. This is complete and utter generic shit. Fuck this record. Track 11, So Good, So Fine by DeMartini and Piercy. The complete opposite of this fucking record. In other words, it actually sounds somewhat like RATT because it's written by DeMartini and Piercy.
Yeah,
and then
no Whiteside Raiders.
Did absolutely fucking nothing for me whatsoever. That's my notes, dude. So I was not really impressed with 1999 at all. I feel like it's RATT trying to be something they're not.
Yeah. So,
right.
By the sounds of it, I ain't missing shit.
You didn't miss anything, dude. I mean, really, it was hard. It was a struggle. It was just struggle to get through it. It was just like, I don't see how anybody could have liked that fucking particular record, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was bad. It was fucking bad. Like oh God, man. I don't know which one was worse. In some ways, I think it was just as bad, but in a different direction. It was just not good, you know. You know what? I think Carnival of Souls was better. I liked more songs off that record than this piece of shit. I didn't like anything off this album, dude. It wasn't even that heavy. It was like just typical fucking Nickelback post. I hated it. It was pretty bad, dude.
Okay, you're making me not want to even attempt to listen to it now if you're saying Carnival of Souls is better.
It's pretty bad. I mean, that's why I was kind of hoping maybe you listen to, because I was wanting to get your fucking take. Like, dude, am I being too hard on this record? But I don't think I am, dude. Like, it's really, really, really bad, man. Like, again, I would buy 2 copies of this record, one to shit on and the other to cover it up with. It's fucking awful. It's not RATT. They may as well just call the band something else.
Yeah.
It's that John Kalodner fuck. And while he had success with some bands, like Whitesnake, the difference between what he did with Whitesnake, and, you know, because he was kind of involved with the 1987 album, is those songs are good, or most of them. He didn't get a bunch of outside writers. You know, that didn't happen till later. I mean, this guy, he was also responsible for a lot of the crap Aerosmith that I just can't stand. That typical, where all the songs sound the same. Like Crying and Crazy sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
There's no difference, man. It's just fucking terrible. And I can't believe people actually bought this shit. Like, there's a lot of sheep out there, man. I you know, what, you buy it just because it's Aerosmith? What was the... you know, do you even know what real Aerosmith is? Probably not. But anyway, that's just my take on 1999. I give it the finger. Fucking hated it, dude. I just did. I don't know which one I hate more. I think I hate Detonator more.
Yeah, well, that's a piece of shit.
Yeah, but goddamn, this was not good, dude. It was just like, ugh. Yeah. All right, so moving on. Moving on. As I said, they went on their hiatus, and then they did their horrible reunion. And then there was, of course, the whole controversy of two versions of RATT. In 1999, RATT added Kerry Kelly as the second guitarist. In January 2000, Piercy left the group again and went on tour with his band Nitronic, which soon became RATT featuring Stephen Piercy. In this period, his record label, Top Fuel Records, released some archived RATT material and Piercy solo work. DeMartini and Blotzer briefly replaced Piercy with singer Robert Mason, who would demo with the band. Mason played a showcase for John Kalodner of Portrait Records, but Kalodner was only interested in offering a new deal if they changed their name. Which, you know what? I'm not a big Kalodner fan, but that makes more sense to me. If you're gonna get a new singer, and you don't have half the original members anymore,
it ain't RATT.
Why calling it RATT? You know. Mm-hmm. DeMartini and Blotzer said no. Mason left because he was only interested if they had a major label deal. Kelly would also leave and wind up joining Slash's Snake Pit. Jizzy Pearl and guitarist John Corabi, of course, from what's his band, the Dead Daisies?
Dead Daisies, yeah. And don't forget Motley Crue.
And of course, he was in '94's Motley Crue. Yeah.
Great fucking record.
Yeah. Again, no, that should not have been called Motley Crue.
No, but it's better than anything Motley Crue have put out since Shout of the Devil.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. I think that record is one of those ones that was just unjustly maligned or just wasn't given a chance. And I think part of it was because they, I hate to say it, but that was a case where them calling it Motley Crue, in my opinion, hurt them. On so many levels, it hurt them. Number one, the Crue fans are like, this isn't fucking Motley Crue. What the fuck is this shit? So the hardcore Crue fans. And then you got people like me who fucking tuned out after Shout at the Devil. Okay? I didn't give it a chance because I'm like, fuck Motley Crue at that point. You're talking to a guy who didn't like Fate or Pain and didn't really like Girls, or Dr. Feelgood. So why the fuck would I pay attention to what they're doing at that point in time? I'm getting my rocks off listening to fucking Pantera and Machine Head, Slayer and Biohazard, fucking, Sepultura and stuff like that. So I'm like, fuck this, Life of Agony, good metal. Yeah. This is like, I just was like, I didn't give it a chance. Until years later when somebody's like, dude, you really listen to this record. And I did, and I'm like, why the fuck did they call this shit Motley Crue? Then I found out later why. And a lot of that was thanks to the Desperate Geek podcast. They do like what they call albums unleashed, I think is what they call it. And they focus on out, and they'll talk to a producer or someone that was involved with the record. Well, in this case, they had an interview with John Corabi, and it was really cool, man. Like, he breaks it down track by track. He explains why they called it Motley Crue. And it was mainly because your promoters, the managers, the record company, everybody that's getting a piece of the pie is like, well, you can't change the name of the band. They're not going to pay you as much to perform live if you don't call yourselves Motley Crue. So, and then listen, and then a year later, the record company's like, well, man, maybe we should have let you change the name. And Corabi's like, fucking think? Too late now, assholes. So I do think that, I don't know if it would have made a difference. Maybe it wouldn't have. I know the musical climate, according to a lot of experts, was changing. But, I get tired of hearing that. I mean, for one, you had bands that were coming out of Seattle, and they all wanted to throw them under the grunge label. Never mind the fact that a lot of those bands sounded nothing alike.
Yeah.
Mudhoney didn't sound like goddamn Soundgarden, dude. Sorry. It just didn't. I mean, to me, as far as I'm concerned, Soundgarden and Alice in Chains were more metal bands. Maybe they didn't like to be called metal, but they were fucking metal.
Yeah,
hard rock, at least. So it's like, and I liked those bands. Some of the grunge, I couldn't give a fuck about Pearl Jam and some of the other ones. I wasn't that big on Nirvana, but my point is, it's like, oh, well, we're going to just call all this grunge. And like I said, I always kind of had a problem with that. So I'm like, well, Alice in Chains don't really, really Alice in Chains and Soundgarden don't even sound anything alike to me. They're heavy, but they sound differently. So I always thought that was just some bullshit label that they put, and part of it was a concentrated effort to kill metal, because that's what they were trying to do. Just like in 1979, when punk came around in the 70s, and oh, metal's dead. Okay, motherfuckers. You've been telling us it's been dying since 1979, and we're still here. So, that's a whole other rant. But when I think of the 90s, man, everybody always talks about that being such a horrible decade for metal, Mac, but I disagree.
Yeah.
When you look at the bands that were coming out at that point in time, you had obviously Pantera, White Zombie, Machine Head, Fear Factory, Clutch, Sepultura come out with some seminal albums around that time period. And even in the early 90s, Megadeth with, Rust in Peace and Countdown to Extinction, Slayer with Seasons of the Abyss. There were so many great... Life of Agony's first album came out during that time period. I know I'm probably forgetting a few bands. Plus, you had the whole death metal movement. You had guys like Obituary and Tombed and all them guys, Death, and they were putting out. They were making an impact in the metal scene. So it just kind of cracks me up when I hear people go, "Oh, well, metal was dead." And I'm like, really? Because, from my point of view, it wasn't. I was still going to shows. I was still, granted, they weren't fucking huge amphitheaters and shit, and they weren't stadiums, but they were clubs and small theaters. But I had a blast during that time, man. I mean, come on. Pantera alone, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crowbar, another amazing band that emerged from the 90s. So, for me, when I think about a lot of the metal bands, and then, of course, you had the whole new metal or alternative metal thing. Some of those bands I dig, some of them I didn't. You had progressive metal bands like Tool doing their thing. I mean, when you look back, it's not as bad as people want to make it out to be, man. They want to make it out like, oh my God, it was just so awful and there was no metal. No, there were metal. There wasn't, glam metal was pretty much dead. And thrash metal was kind of hurt, but still going. They still survived.
Yeah. All those thrash bands survived through the 90s.
Sure.
Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, Exodus. Even down to Municipal Waste. All those guys fucking survived.
Right. Well, Municipal Waste actually emerged like in the first decade of the 2000s.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're right. No, I was thinking of Municipal Waste. What do you call the other?
Stormtroopers of Death?
No, not them, no.
Nuclear Assault?
Nuclear Assault.
Okay. Yeah. And you got a valid point. I mean, it's like Kerry Keane said, man, grunge totally destroyed, or whatever was going on in grunge alternative, whatever you want to call it. Totally destroyed glam metal. But really, I think glam metal kind of did themselves in. When you had copies of copies of copies of copies, and then you got guys who started out, like RATT, who started the movement, and they're copying copies of themselves, that's what killed the glam metal movement. Period. So people can blame Nirvana and grunge or whatever the fuck all they want. The fact of the matter is they kind of did it to themselves, man.
Yep.
And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to like you were pointing out, the thrash metal guys, some of them did take hiatuses. Death Angel did. They had a catastrophic bus wreck that really just literally ruined the band. They were out of it. And even Exodus took a hiatus, much like RATT. They were like, okay, we can get out of it. But you're right. They not only did they survive, but they have thrived. They're still doing it. They're still playing clubs. They're still putting out quality music. You can't really say that about glam metal. Glam metal had its place in time. And after that, they were pretty much done.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to sound like a dick when I say that, but it's just kind of true, man. I mean, that whole scene is gone, and you'll never have it back again. Where you've got a new wave of thrash metal, you got metal bands of all kinds coming out of the woodworks, but you don't really see a lot of glam metal come back. I haven't seen, other than Steel Panther, which is a fucking parody. That's over. That's over. And you know what? Thank God it is, because like I said, except for the first few originators, most of it was fucking crap.
Yeah.
But there was something I was gonna say about so when RATT did the one album, to me it was like they were trying to do and here's another rant I want to go across about, man, is in Metal Evolution there's an episode where they cover glam metal. It's a series by Sam Dunn Scott McFadden. I don't know if you ever seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times.
Okay, they did the chapter on glam metal, and I kind of had a newfound respect for Poison, believe it or not. Even though I detest their music. When Ricky Rocket said, you know, I couldn't make a record like that. Like, Motley Crue tried the grunge thing. Even RATT, I think, with 1999, they made a stab at it. A lot of those bands did. Poison's like, it would have been disingenuous for me to try to make that kind of thing. You know, they didn't even try. They didn't even try. And the fact that he also said, you know, there was a new generation. We're like, sorry, I'm not feeling nothing but a good time. I just don't. He's like, you know, I can't be mad about that. You know, I just liked his attitude about it. Like, hey, fuck it, man, you know? Like, and he was realistic. He goes, we are a nostalgic act.
Yeah.
It's not like we're playing anything new. I mean, so, yeah, you know, I think that I kind of got a little bit newfound respect for him for that, because they didn't try to make a grunge record. Fucking Motley Crue did with Generation Swine, though, didn't they? You know, so, yeah, it's terrible. Fucking terrible. But my point that I'm trying to make is, yeah, I don't know. It's just fucked up, man, really. So anyway, you had John Corabi. We kind of went off on a tangent because of the John Corabi Motley Crue thing. But yeah, you're right. It was what, 94 is what people commonly call it. Yeah. It was a good record. It's just a shame they called it Motley Crue. They should have, because I think maybe that record might have done something. I'm not saying it would have been a hit like Shout the Devil was, but I think it would have done better than it did. People prejudged it one way or the other because they called it Motley Crue. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, you know, John ended up he joined the band, replacing Mason and Kelly, and then after a legal battle, the DeMartini Blotzer version eventually won the rights to tour with RATT. So, and then of course in 2001 we all lost Robin. He died June 6, 2002. Actually, in 2001, he announced that he had HIV, that he was HIV positive.
Yeah.
He died June 6 of 2002 from a heroin overdose. 42 fucking years old, dude.
Yeah. Fucking young man.
Yeah. But, you know, he said, hey, don't grieve for me. I fucking had a great life. And in some ways, he probably did. I mean, you know, Robin did shit that we've only read about in books, I'm sure. You know, and he was... anyway, for the next 2 years, they were featured in the Rock Never Stops tour alongside other 1980s hard rock heavy metal bands. In 2001, Pearcy attempted to sue the band for touring under the RATT name, but lost. Pearcy then toured as Stephen Pearcy and occasionally nicknamed his solo band the Rat Bastards. Nice. On January 7th, 2005, Crucier explained to a fan on his website message board how Blotzer and Crucier decided to put the band to rest in 92 after Pearcy and DeMartini left the group. With this message, Crucier became the first member of RATT to explain the events that ensued following the breakup in 92. Corroborating previous interviews given by band members, including Pearcy, Blotzer, and DeMartini, that they did indeed disband in 1982. And then, of course, they were profiled on the Behind the Music. And during their inactive years, they kind of all went on their own separate ways and did separate projects. Crucier then formed a band called Dirty Rats, blah, 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 blah. But this is important right here. Crucier later formed, because they're all doing, like, Pearcy's doing projects. Jizzy Pearl and DeMartini were doing, you know, they were all busy doing other things. And then Crucier and Pearcy toured with one another during the summer and fall of 2006. Even further surprising many, Blotzer joined them on stage at a show on October 27, 2006. And then, of course, Crucier later formed a new band called Dirty Rats, consisting of himself on bass and vocals and Carlos Cavazo on guitar.
Yes, a very vital piece there, Carlos Cavazo.
Yes, and then John Medina on drums. Cavazo left the Dirty Rats to join RATT, but later returned to Dirty Rats. Reportedly, the current lineup going by the name Dirty Rats features completely different musicians, except for Juan Crucier, including Love-Hate guitarist Johnny Love and Black and Blue drummer Pete Holmes. Then they had a second reunion. This is from 2006 to 2008, where it says on December 1st, 2006, the website Metal Sludge generated rumors after reporting that Pearcy and Crucier reunite with Blotzer and DeMartini. December 4th of 2006, Jesse Pearl announced on his message board that he was no longer a member of the band, further increasing speculation and excitement. On March 17th, 2007, another website stated that RATT would go on tour in 2007 with Ugg, Puke, Poison, and Great White. On April 12th, actually, Great White's okay. They're all right. Brave World.
I like what is it? Once Bitten. I like that record.
April 12th, Brave Words reported that White Lion would open for Poison and RATT, while Great White was still in talks to join the tour. See, I'd much rather see Great White than White Lion, but that's just me. On March 20th, 2007, the official RATT website was finally updated with only the band's logo after a year and a half of being dormant, and blah, 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 blah. Basically, it all leads up to Infestation. Okay, I'm not reading this bullshit. Most of it's just... so basically, it leads up to Infestation. Now, this album is more fucking like it. Mm-hmm. First time I'd listened to the record, I'm ashamed to say, it's something I always intended on doing, especially when I heard people like Ian Wadley, DJ Wadzilla from the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, and even Ralph Vieira, Dr. Fuck, talk about how highly this album, they really, really liked it,
Yep.
It was released on April 20th of 2010, recorded during 2008-2009. At Studio Barbarossa, Bavant, Virginia. Produced by Michael Elvis Basquet. Well, all I have to say is this. They need to get him to produce the next album if they ever do another one.
He is an amazing producer.
Yes,
he's a relatively young guy. He's only late 30s, early 40s at most. But he's worked with... He produced a couple of Alter Bridge records. He's worked with Slash. He's just a fucking great producer. Captures great sound and does everything on analog tapes.
Right.
There's none of this. Yep, he does. He does it the old school way.
I'll tell you another producer that's working currently that I think is fucking awesome. At least when it comes to thrash metal, and that's Andy Sneap. That guy is badass.
I don't know him.
Check out any new thrash metal record, dude. From the old Testament, Overkill. Okay. I guarantee you Andy Sneap's name is in there somewhere. If it's not producer, then it's a mixer. Or something. This guy is fucking awesome, dude. And this dude, Michael Elvis Basquet, man, I mean, I can't say enough good things about Infestation. Let me just open it up with that. I know you've talked about it. You're familiar with this record, right?
Oh, yeah. I only discovered it around 2 years ago, and it was on the recommendation of Justin Childers. Now, all I knew was basically, the first 4, 5. That was all I knew. And he said to me, man, have you heard Infestation? And I said, no. Never heard it, but he said, check it out, kicks ass. So I went up on Amazon, ordered it, and oh man, I fucking love that album. Bar maybe 1 or 2 questionable tracks, it's fucking stellar, killer fucking record.
It's the best thing they've done, clearly, since Dancing Undercover. Do
you know what? I think it's better than Dancing Undercover.
It might just be. It might just be, man. Like from what I gathered, that was kind of their mindset. That they wanted to do a record that would have fit in right around the time of Out of the Cellar and Invasion of Your Privacy, like kind of in between those albums. And I think they succeeded with flying fucking colors. Like they really. The only thing that makes me wonder about this record, as good as it is, number one, you found the perfect guy to replace Robert. Succeed, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
Carlos does an amazing job on this album. And from what I understand, and the one hit, which I think is Best of Me, that fucking riff, he wrote that.
Yep.
That's awesome. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is a guy who, which I liked Carlos' work with Quiet Riot, don't get me wrong. I've always thought the guy was kind of a guitar player, but and I'm glad to say I saw this lineup of the band.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was right when me and the Thing That Should Not Be started dating. And but this is one of our better memories. We went to this thing. We've got a radio station here. You know, you kind of classify them as a classic rock station now. What's funny about them, they're called KC95. And had a little mascot, a pig with a joint sticking out of his mouth called Sweet. And what's funny about KC95, when they first started, and I think they started in like 67, so a little bit before my time, but KC was very much a underground FM radio station that, in my opinion, they played all hard rock and metal. Like they were the station that would play Kiss when nobody else did. They were the station that would play Priest and Sabbath and Zeppelin. And, you know, people have to remember, yeah, that's classic rock or classic metal now, but at the time it wasn't. It was new. And that's where I've kind of gotten frustrated with KC over the years. Is over the years they've concentrated on playing more of the old stuff, and when they do play new stuff, it's more like fucking Nickelback bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys aren't really staying true to what you were when you started out. You should be playing thrash metal. You should be playing the extreme stuff, because the shit you were playing back in the late 60s and early 70s was extreme, in my opinion. You know, it was, you know, so anyway, but I still love KC. I always will. I mean, they had like, you know, because they used to have a show back in the day called Monday Night Metal, but they always had heard it on Tuesday nights. I never did understand that. But I found out later the reason why is they were one of the affiliates for Rockline. Have you ever heard of that show?
Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, with Bob Coburn, I think was his name. There's a guy he would do interviews. And I listened to Rockline a lot as a kid. He'd have Ozzy on there, Van Halen. Always did a really good job. It was a good show, and when I was a kid, I didn't realize that was being broadcast all over the world. I just thought that this was a guy who worked for KC. Fuck, I didn't know. No. So they had the Rockline thing. So they had to move Monday Night Metal to Tuesday nights. I listened to that show religiously as a kid because that's how I got turned on to Metallica. Now, I heard Metallica before that. A buddy of mine, my older brother's, by the name of Dave Grindstaff, he had brought over, this is like 83. Late 83, early 84. Just a kid. I think I was like 13. Yeah, 13 years old. And he brings over Kill 'Em All and Slayer's Show No Mercy.
Nice.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? You gotta understand what was going on, though. I was like into Maiden and Priest and Sabbath and Ozzy and Dio, and that's my metal, you know. The first Motley Crue album, you know, RATT. I listened to that, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? I can't understand a word they're saying. They're playing too goddamn fast. I didn't care for it, especially Slayer. Slayer freaked me the fuck out. I mean, I just thought it was something that came out of the depths of hell. I was like, this is too much for me. Well, flash forward maybe a year or two later, I hear KC95, and they played For Whom the Bell Tolls and Fade to Black. It's off the latest Metallica album. I'm like, fuck, that's Metallica? It was that big of a difference from Kill 'Em All. Yeah. So I borrowed, and then right around that time, it was like a few months before Master of Puppets came out. So, you know, my brother buys Master of Puppets, and I buy Ride the Lightning, and eventually we got Kill 'Em All. So, and by that point in time, I'm getting into thrash metal, right? And then I got introduced to, you know, Anthrax and Megadeth, of course. Megadeth was... Peace Sells But Who's Buying was the album. Really, I'm like, okay, I'm all in on this thrash metal. But I was still somewhat resistant to Slayer because they freaked me out so bad that I didn't get into Slayer until I heard South of Heaven. And then I'm like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like, it makes sense because by that point I'm already into thrash metal. So by the time I heard Slayer again, it sounded fine to me. I was acclimated to that extreme metal. You know, thrash metal was extreme at the time. I feel it still is extreme metal to it. I mean, you would not have extreme metal if not for thrash metal. Sorry, guys. You wouldn't have the black metal. You wouldn't have your death metal. You wouldn't have any of that without thrash metal. That's a fact. But anyway, yeah. So that was my story. But the reason why I'm kind of going on this tangent is it's because of KC95 that I discovered or rediscovered Metallica, I should say. They had this event called the KC95 Hog Roast. It's something they do every year, and they had a bunch of different bands playing there. Tesla was there. They put on a great show. Queensryche was there. Candlebox, not real big on them, but they were there. And RATT was there. And that's how I saw RATT. And I remember him talking about Infestation, and they played a couple of songs off of it, and I was like, hey, that ain't fucking bad. It's pretty good. Harlow sounded great, man. It was a good show. They put on a heck of a show. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, it wasn't enough for me to actually go out and buy the record.
Yeah.
But
just
I enjoyed the concert. It's the only time I'd ever seen RATT. I never got to see RATT in their heyday.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
But no, I was just going to say, just on Elvis Basquiat, like, not only did he do a killer job of producing the album, but there's 11 tracks on the record, and out of the 11, he's got 7 songwriting credits on it.
I know, he co-wrote, and of course so did, like one of my problems with Reach for the Sky is Bo Hill has a lot of co-writes, and so does Desmond fucking Child, but at least in this case with the producer, this is a guy, he got RATT. He's probably a fan of their stuff. He gets them. He understands what they are, and he did a great job. Man.
Yeah, he knows what the fans wanted to hear in a RATT record, and that's his job. Bring out the best in them, and he fucking did it. And I hope he does the next one.
And I'll tell you why I hope he does the next one. This one album's missing one thing, in my opinion.
I think I know what it is.
Robbie Crane is a fine bass player, but as far as songwriting sensibility, he didn't, really bring that much to the table. It's almost like Basquiat filled in that void. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it just kind of makes you just
songwriting and his backing vocals.
What, buddy?
I was Juan's songwriting and his backing vocals is what's
right.
That's what we need now.
Right, the way he harmonizes with Steven is a big part of the RATT sound, and that's what I'm saying. I have to wonder if Infestation, as good a record as it is, if Juan had been there, how much better would it have been? Mm-hmm. It's already an outstanding record as far as I'm concerned. It's the best thing they've done since fucking forever. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd be right up there with the 4 records before it. Mm-hmm. I think it's RATT. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking RATT.
Yeah.
So I definitely think they achieved their goals, and I definitely hope if they do another record that they get Basquiat back, mm-hmm. and you might get the closest to. I mean, it's such a shame that Bobby Blotzer had to be a cock knocker. Yeah. Through this whole thing, because really all he has done is cut his nose in spite of his faith. Yeah. Now he is lost. He should never, when he called it Bobby Blotzer's RATT experience, that was one. I don't blame the guy for trying to make a living. Mm-hmm. Man, what he was doing was just fucking not cool. Yeah. Just not fucking cool. And now, if I'm RATT, I'm going to get back. I'm going to get a new drummer. Well, they got a new drummer. I'm going to get Basquiat, and we're going to put out a record that's going to blow Infestation away. Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Yep. But they have a solid drummer there now with Jimmy DeGrasso.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's kicking ass.
Hell yeah, man. Like I said, I'm kind of excited. I hope they do another record, because, I thought Infestation was the best thing they've done. And like I said, you don't even have one. Mm-hmm. Think how good, as good a record as this is, if Juan had been there, I just can't help but think it would have been better.
Oh, yeah. It would have been
the closest to an original RATT reunion as you would have got, because, Fuckstick's still there. Anyway, man, you want to take this off the top, bro?
Yep, could. What does it open with? Eat Me Up Alive. Fucking killer track. It's nearly getting a time machine back to Invasion of Your Privacy. I hear a lot of You're in Love in that track, but just played with a little bit more aggression. It's a great fucking song, great opener, punches you in the balls, and it just says, we're back.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't say it better myself. And that's one thing I noticed about this record. I think what I liked about Infestation is it kind of makes me wonder, is this because remember when they said that there were times they were kind of dissatisfied with Bo Hill?
Yeah.
that I think RATT always, from what because I've done a bit of research on this part, from what I understand, their problem with Bo, they thought he was a good producer, but they felt like sometimes he was a little too polished.
Mm-hmm.
That they wanted a little bit more of a rawer sound. Well, this album definitely has more of a thicker, I think, rawer sound. Like this is, it kind of makes me wonder if this is what RATT wanted the first few albums to sound like. Sonically.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, those records are good records. I'm not putting Bo Hill down. Well, I mean, my God, they sold millions of copies, you know, but it does kind of make me wonder if that's what RATT's problem was with him initially. Maybe they felt it was a little, because let's be honest, man, 80s production at the time, everything was polished.
Mm-hmm.
And the decade, it just got even more polished to the point to where, like, by the time 1986 rolls around, you got dudes like Ron Nevison, you know, producing guys like Ozzy, where Ozzy has said more than once he thinks the songs off Ultimate Sin are good, but he hates the production. He feels it's way too polished, way too perfect, and I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it kind of makes you wonder if maybe that was the problem Steven and the guys had with Bo. I don't really know. All I can say is this fucking opening track, which was written by Cavazo, Piercy, and DeMartini, starts right off with a killer riff that goes into an even thicker, chuggier riff. The vocals kick in, and I'm instantly fucking hooked. Like you said, I felt like I was back in time.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was a kid again. This is fucking RATT. Just killer guitar work by DeMartini and Cavazo. And like I said, the perfect guy to succeed Robin Crosby. I said Robbie Crane does a damn good job filling in for Juan Crucier. Amazing opening track. That's my notes.
Killer. Cool. Go into Best of Me. I want to hear your thoughts on this first.
Okay. Written by Cavazo, Piercy, Michael Elvis Basquet, who was the producer. We already talked about. This track could have easily come from Invasion of Privacy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If someone had said this was recorded from that session, I would have totally bought it. I would have totally said, oh yeah, I can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Tempo, Matt track. The perfect mixture, once again, of pop and metal. RATT doing what they do best. It's a damn shame Ron Crucier isn't on this record, because think about how much better it would have been for an already fucking solid album. Not to disparage Robbie Crane, of course. I love it. What did you think of it?
It's my favorite track on the album. I just think it's a killer fucking song, and it really reminds me of Van Halen, you know, 1984. I kind of get that vibe of it.
Okay.
But I absolutely love this song, and 9 times out of 10, if I'm doing a live radio show and I'm feeling like hearing a track from Infestation, it's Best of Me that I put on. I just fucking love the song. Killer, keeps the momentum going on the album. Great song, my favourite on the record. Love it.
You know, it's funny about that. I never really thought about the Van Halen thing, but if you think about RATT, especially in their early career, and Stephen Piercy makes no bones about it, they were very, very heavily influenced by Van Halen.
Oh yeah, big time.
He was friends with him. Like, he was friends, I guess, with them before they even made it. So he said that Edward, when he was in trouble with his wife, would hide his liquor at Stephen's place.
Nice.
Yeah, you know. He goes, I was probably enabling, but fuck, he was my friend. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Pretty funny interview, man. He's a funny guy, Stephen Piercy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's comical.
Track 3, A Little Too Much, written by Basquet, Piercy, and DeMartini, kicks off with classic RATT signature sound. I like it. Solid track. They said, and this is my notes, they said their goal was to capture the classic RATT sound, and I feel that they fucking succeeded with flying colors. I like the first 2 songs better, but just killer guitar work throughout. I like it. It's a good, solid number. I can't really complain. So far, so good for me, man. Definitely throwing devil horns for this album.
Yep. Cool. Yep. Look, me too. I think it's a great song. Great track. What I love about it is it's so clear. You know, the sound is so crisp, so clean. But really looking at the track listing here now, A Little Too Much, then the next track, Look Out Below, Lost Weekend. You know, the next 4 or 5 tracks They are amazing additions to the band's classic back catalogue. You know, it's just like, you know, being thrown back to 1984, 1985, you know, with those first two full-length albums. Any of these tracks could have come off any of those albums. But a little too much. Great fucking song. Keeps the momentum going again. Love it.
I agree, dude. I think that, and it's kind of funny you should say that, especially when you say it's like, for me, it definitely is, because I lived it. I was there. Mm-hmm. Not to talk down to you or anything, like, hey, whippersnapper, but, you know, I was there, you know, so it's like, it definitely, like I'm telling you, dude, the minute I popped this on and listened to it, I was like, holy fuck, man. And it's not that I doubted Dr. Fuck or Ian's word or other people's word for it, but I have to admit, I'm thinking, okay, classic Rat shit. Yeah, I'm sure it does, but man, when I listen to it, I'm like, holy shit, it really does, you know, like, sound like it could have come from that time period, you know, and I dig it, man, because if any of the bands from the glam metal movement do a retro album and can do it and get by with it, it's RATT.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and yeah, I just can't talk highly enough about this record. Track 4, Look Out Below. You want to take this one, brother, or you want?
Yeah, yep. Keeps going. Continues on. Good track. I don't like it as much as the first 3, but I really dig the start. You know, the intro part of the song, and it reminds me of. Oh god, brain fart here. Fuck, of Dancing Undercover. Slip of the lip a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I couldn't think of the fucking name there. Yeah, reminds me, I kind of get that vibe. Like most of the tracks.
Thinking, but I was like, well, I'm just going to I'm going to give you as long a time as I can to get it right. Because I didn't want to, you know, interrupt you.
Yeah. No, it's just, I just couldn't think of the fucking name of the song. It's just, I think it's the guitar. It's D. Martini's guitar tone in it. But great fucking song. I can't even say it's a slight dip. I just don't like it as much as the other ones, but I still like it.
Oh, definitely, man. Again, Basket, man. Like you said, his fingerprints are all over this album. But that's a good fucking thing with this guy. Piercy and DeMartini, heavy, bluesy, chuggy riff, but done right. And what I mean by that is that was one thing I noticed about 99. They're trying to do this, like, blues record. Damn it. They're trying to do this fucking blues record and turning that shit down. I'm tired of people fucking bothering. You know, they got this fucking blues record, but it's just fucking totally fucking killer, man. This, you know, where 99 was just like them trying to sound like I said, it just reminded me of like post-grunge fucking crap, man. Which if you think about what was going on in 99 when it came to it. Anyway, as I said, Look Out Below. It's got that blues tinge, but it works for me. Where in 1999, that record just, you know, I mean, I know the RATT always had a bit of blues in their music, but not like it was in the 99 album. 99 was just like them trying to get something they weren't. This is RATT. And once again, I just think that it's just got a killer fucking guitar work. DeMartini and Cavazzo just fucking shine on this record, dude. Like, to me, they're the MVPs of the album. By far. I'm fucking digging this record so far. So that's in my notes, like literally, dude. That's what I wrote.
Yeah.
Because when I review an album, I just jot down little things, you know, whatever comes to mind. I feel is the best way to review an album or review records. You know, or whatever. You know, I just and yeah, I dug it. I don't see any flaws in this record so far.
Yeah.
And then we got track 5, Last Call. You want to take it, brother?
Yeah, look, great song. Fucking keeps the momentum going. Not much more I can say about it. Just, you know, keeps the experience on the album going for me. I love it.
I put written by Birksey and Basket. Then I put the producers obviously filling the void with Juan Crucier in a songwriting sense. So I even put it in my notes what I said earlier. I said very fast paced. Totally reminds me of something like that could have been out of the cellar. And I think Stephen vocally sounds great on it. And I really dig the vocal harmonies provided by the other guys. Just a very cool track. And once again, Cavazo and DeMartini just killing it on guitar. Like, I'm so happy Carlos is in that band.
Yeah.
He fits them like a glove, man. He really does.
Yep, great addition.
Like, when I seen him live, he was good when I saw him live, but most of it was them playing old stuff. They played, like, I think a couple new songs, which I was like, hey, it was pretty fucking good. It was one of them things where it's like I always intended to check out Infestation, but I just never took out the time to do it. But that's one that's kind of cool about the format we're doing now is we're going to be able to check out bands and artists that, while I may not be familiar with everything they've ever done. So it's going to give us a chance to sit down and actually listen to some of these killer and maybe even not so killer records. But yeah, I can't rave enough about this album. Track 6, Lost Weekend. You want to take this one, brother? Or you want
I fucking love this song. It's up there with the first 2 tracks for me. I think it's heavy. Fucking killer riff. I think it's just about lyrically, it's just about going out and getting so fucked up you basically lost your weekend and don't know what the fuck you did. So pretty cool message behind it, but great song. Love the riff, heavy and killer. Everything I want to hear on a RATT record.
Definitely. Dude, you pretty much, all I can do is echo what you just said. Just another killer heavy opening riff. Again, to me, this sounds like something that could have easily been on Out of the Cellar. Easily. Because I still feel like out of all of RATT's records, I'd say as far as albums, I would say Out of the Cellar was probably their heaviest in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Not to say that Invasion of Privacy didn't have some heavy tracks on it, because it did. But that's what this reminds me of. Like, again, they said their goal was like, imagine if this was the record in between Out of the Cellar and Invasion of Your Privacy. And that's what it fucking sounds like. It sounds like that was their goal. They, like I said, they fucking, bam, they nailed it. Succeeded. Flying colors, because it's just, I can't brag on this record enough, and that's one thing that makes me kind of feel good about doing part 3, because quite honestly, dude, I was dreading this episode. And the reason why is because I'm like, God, it's going to sound like I'm talking all this shit on a band that I actually do love.
Yeah,
but now I'm so glad that, yes, this last album, it's like we can fucking talk about how awesome RATT are. So track 7, As Good As It Gets.
Yep, you go for it.
Written by Piercy, Basket, Cavazo opens with a riff that has total swagger, walking down the street, not giving a fuck. Has that total sleazy Sunset Strip swagger that has been sorely lacking in RATT's last few previous releases. That's my notes, and that's how I felt about this song. Like, it was like something that you would never have heard this on Detonator. You would never have heard this on fucking 99. You know what I mean? I dig it. What do you think, man?
Yep, I love it. It's probably my second favorite song, I think, on the album. I just love the sleaze, the swagger. I love Stephen uses a lot more rasp on his vocals on this track, and just the whole theme of the song. To me, it could fit on An Appetite for Destruction. An album like that. It's just the right sort of structure, theme, vibe. I think it's a great fucking song. And I'd love to hear this live.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, dude. And I think that, like you just said, it has that. This song just oozes attitude. Like, we're fucking RATT, and we don't give a fuck if you like us or not. And that's what I liked about RATT in the beginning. They did have that, even though they were, and it's funny because I've been trying to listen to as many interviews with the guys from the band lately as I could for this podcast. And one of the interesting things about it is somebody asked them, they had like these people in the audience could ask, somebody asked him a stupid fucking question about, wearing lipstick or whatever, and he took umbrage. Steven was like instantly like, I never fucking wore lipstick. I never wore shade. He goes, I wore eyeliner.
Yeah.
I wore some eyeliner, but we never wore blush. We never wore... That's Poison, you're thinking. Not us. You could just tell it kind of pissed him off. Like, hey, yeah, we wore some fancy outfits, and we teased our fucking hair, and I had mascara or, fucking eyeliner, but I didn't wear no fucking lipstick, Which some people might go, oh, well, what's the difference? Well, there is a difference. I mean, if you look at what RATT looked like, and then you look at fucking Poison, there is a difference. I mean, Poison straight up looked like fucking bitches off Cotton. In fact, to be honest with you, the first time I saw the cover, I thought it was a chick band. Really did.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, man, chick band? And then they're dudes. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then I saw their videos, and I was like, oh, God. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But, yes, I definitely think this is a track that just, it's got that attitude, fuck you, we're RATT, and this is what we're really about.
Yeah.
And definitely a return to form. Like, they should be proud of this record. I hope they are. Track 8, Garden of Eden. Want to take this, brother?
No, you work away.
Written by D. Martini and Percy, and then I put in parentheses, just like the old days. I said, badass heavy track, old school RATT at its finest. I almost get a feeling that Percy is talking about life on the Sunset Strip back in the day, especially with that line, and this Garden of Eden, if you could have seen it, you wouldn't believe it in this Garden of Eden. It just kind of makes me feel like maybe that's what he's talking about, like, because, I mean, when you think about the hedonism and all the shit that was going on, man, it's just, from what I understand, just kind of fucking nuts, so I think, and maybe I'm conjecturing, who knows what the fuck he's talking about for sure, but that was the impression I got. What do you think, Mac?
Yeah, it's classic RATT again, that sound. It's, I mean, really, from what number track are we in? We're in what?
Track 8.
Track 8. So basically, I mean, there hasn't been a bad track for the, from track 1 to track 8. Any one of these tracks could have come off any of those classic 80s albums. Garden of Eden is just another one of those tracks. I love it. I think it's catchy. Some killer fucking melodies in it. Love Stevens' vocals. Just great fucking song. Love it.
Yeah, straight up, dude. I mean, man, this is fucked up. We're kind of on the same page, too, brother. This is another love fest right here.
Yep.
Track 9, Take a Big Bite. D. Martini, Piercy, and Basquette. Starts with another heavy killer riff. Opening the song. Killer guitar work. Very hooky chorus. Once again, just another example of a RATT staple, like what RATT was known for back in the day. If you was, this is a perfect example of that. You know what I mean? It's like, again, this could go, I know we're repeating ourselves, but it really is. It's like, goddamn, this sounds like something that could have been recorded off the first few albums, man. Like, and I think that's a pretty impressive feat considering they don't have Juan and they don't have Robin.
Yeah, and it's 30 years later, nearly.
Right, and that's how rare is it? You always hear about bands trying to go back to their roots.
Yeah.
Very few of them really succeed. Let's be honest. Kiss tried it with Sonic Boom and Monster. I don't think they succeeded. No. A lot of older school bands, let's try to go back to what we were when we first started. I mean, some of them do okay. But let's be honest, most of them, it's like, it don't even measure. This shit, to me, measures up to classic band. I'm going to say it right now. I think it does, anyway. I mean, this is a really, really good... what a comeback. This is a great comeback.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I think it's because of records like this, you know, that you still see RATT on the heavy metal websites, and they're still in the news. Is because, you know, I know some people, it's just the drama with Blotzer. Well, yeah, but there's a reason why people give a fuck.
Yeah, people still care.
If band that just completely sucked, and their comeback album, if it had just been left in 1999, I don't think people would really care. But when they put out Infestation, it's like, hey, we're fucking back. I think it made people go, oh, fuck yeah, you know, awesome. And they're checking out RATT again. And then you got, you know, so you got this positive buzz, this word of mouth, you know, metaphorically speaking, this buzz on the internet about this band. And that's one reason why I just want to fucking punch Bobby Blotzer in the throat, because I feel like he killed whatever momentum they may have had, you know, by pulling your ignorant shit.
Yep.
So, yeah. Again, man, I don't think there is a bad song on this album, Mac. I mean, these guys have succeeded, and it is impressive for me, because there are some bands that have been around for a long time that consistently put out good music. Not in this subgenre, not glam metal. You know, like, let's be honest. I think, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being critical, but does anybody really give a fuck what White Lion is doing right now?
Yeah, exactly.
See what I'm trying to say, you know, and that pisses off certain people. Too fucking bad. Sorry, it's just how I feel. And I think I'm, you know, pretty on the money about that. I don't see White Lion all over Blabbermouth and Heavy Metal Injection and all these fucking news sites. Still see RATT popping. So, where are we at, man? We're on track.
Take a Big Bite. I think was.
And I liked it. Did you get your son? You gave your.
Yeah, look, I like it. Yeah, I think there's some great guitar work at it. Some killer melodies and harmonies. Great song. Another fucking killer track. I love it. But it then it takes a dive for me. The last two tracks I'm just not a fan of. Take Me Home. I just think it's sappy piece of shit. Not into it at all. What do you think?
Not as harsh as you, though. I put, you know, Piercy DeMartini Basket. I said, I like the drum pattern that Dumbfuck did.
Dumbfuck.
It's not a bad little mellow track. I like it. It's got a nice guitar solo in it, but I'm not like, if I was to say it's it'd probably be my least favorite song.
Yeah, I skip it.
And then of course we got track 11, Don't Let Go by, well, I know Blotzer co-wrote that song. Piercy, John Corabi, Basket. And I even put, he actually contributes songwriting to at least one track on this record. I said, pace track, has all the RATT staples that a RATT fan looks for. Hooky chorus, melodic vocals, with the perfect mixture of pop and metal. I said, it's pretty sweet guitar work. To me, as far, I'm basically talking about the whole album. A return to form, all in all, good fucking solid RATT and roll, you know, and pretty much, yeah. So, I mean, I think compared to maybe the other tracks, I don't know, maybe they should have put some of those songs more in the middle. And put one
just songs, bad way to end the album, I think. But
the album as a whole, man, I can't fucking bag on it.
Yeah, oh no.
It's really, really good. And the return to form. I got to see him on this tour, which was cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I'm proud of them. I'm proud just for the simple fact that they were able to do something that, I mean, to come back without two of your major songwriters. I mean, but it also goes to show you how good of a songwriter Piercy is. He was involved with a lot of the songwriting. And how good DeMartini is. And like I said, the producer, that dude deserves an award. He did an outstanding fucking job, I think. You know, in my opinion, I think he did a hell of a job. I can't really bag on the guy, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
You know what? I give this record just because of the 10 out of 10 devil.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, if RATT was never to do another record again, at least you can say they ended it on a fucking high note.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of hoping, though, that now that they got Juan back in the band, that they get Basket back as producer and do another record. I would love to hear it. I will go out and buy that motherfucker if they do. I will support them. Because this Infestation, great record, man. Great fucking.
Yeah, great fucking record. Killer. So right, that takes us up to Infestation. Now, time is running against us. So how about we jump into the reunion with Crucier, and then Piercy, Leave It Again, and then the cluster fuck that has been happening since 2015 with the one and only Bobby Blotzer.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to find my notes on that. Well, basically, I know that they got back together, and then I guess, did Steven leave the band again?
Yeah, Steven, what was it? They said in like early 2012 that he was, the band were in the process of like writing new material for a new band, and like they would be playing at M3 that summer. But Robbie Crane said that he announced that he was leaving and to go to Lynch Mob, and then rumours started to float around that Juan was coming back, and then, you know, it was confirmed because they played M3 and Juan was there, and what was it, after, yeah, the following year then, Blotzer said in an interview that they had like songwriting all completed and pre-production done for the next album. It was the following year Piercy then said that he left the band, and he just said that he was officially done and was not having anything to do with them. Constant turmoil, the unresolved business problems.
In January 2014, well, he doesn't care, it matter anyway. For the first time since joining RATT in 1982, drummer Bobby Blotzer had to miss a few shows due to neck surgery he had in October 2013. Drummer Jimmy DeGrasso filled in for him for these shows. A little foreshadowing. On April 24th, 2014, Stephen Piercy announced that he had left the band again, explaining he was officially done with having anything to do with them due to the constant turmoil, unresolved business, personal attacks / threats in the public forum, and most of all, the disrespect to the fan. Okay, now do you know anything about that? Like, what is Steven talking about? Was
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know when his book came out, but is it in the book? I haven't read his book, but I really don't know what these personal attacks or, you know, threats. And I don't know what any of that shit's about, or the disrespecting of the fans. I really don't know, but Steven had a hair up his ass about something, but I just don't know.
Well, it's kind of weird that he... I mean, because in my opinion, without Steven, there is no RATT. You know, let's be honest. He started.
Yeah, it's his baby.
It's fucking damn. So it's really weird for me to... It's like... I bet he regrets leaving the band in the first place or whatever, because... But then if they disbanded, it's like, I want to know how the fuck Bobby Blotzer got the name of the... hold of the brand or name of RATT. Like, how did the fuck did that happen? I just don't know. But right here it says issues, 2 versions of RATT. Again, it says 2015 present. In June of 2015, Bobby Blotzer formed a band called Bobby Blotzer's RATT Experience Tour. And I didn't have a problem with that, because he's not calling it RATT. You know what I mean? To me, it let you know who the fuck he was, and that, yeah, this guy was in RATT, and if you want to hear RATT songs, listen to this band. I didn't have a problem with Bobby doing that. Until in August 2015, Juan Crucier formed a touring band that plays RATT's Deep Cut, with the band debuting in September. Within days, Blotzer criticized Crucier for using the band's logo, arguing trademark infringement. In September of 2015, Blotzer announced that he had taken control of RATT, and his RATT Experience lineup was the real RATT, and ready to embark on a tour in 2016 titled the American-Made Re-Invasion Tour. However, within days, Warren DeMartini spoke out against Blotzer using it. He still has control over the RATT name on his half, but Blotzer claims he has the legal right to do so on his half. In October 2015, DeMartini sued Blotzer, falsely advertising his tribute band as the real thing. On November 5th, 2015, the Los Angeles federal court overturned Warren DeMartini's attempt to procure an injunction to prevent Bobby Blotzer from using and touring under the RATT trademark as WBS Incorporated, the corporation owned by Bobby Blotzer. Warren DeMartini, 50-50, owns the RATT trademark. See, I just don't know how this motherfucker, who really didn't write any of the songs, like DeMartini can make a claim, but how in the fuck did Blotzer get his hands on that?
Yeah.
At all.
Joe, how it happened? It goes back to the days of, when you're young and you're hungry and you're trying to make it, you're in it together, and you set up these companies and these organizations, but everybody's on equal terms, as far as a partnership goes, but then once members start to drop off or leave, they have to sell their shares or they're bought out or whatever, and eventually you're down to Bobby and Warren. That's just how it happened.
It's so, man, I mean, it just, because he even said something in the interview I saw where he felt like he kind of fucked up. That he kind of was like, when we did it at the time, it was all for one for all. He goes, looking back, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. And I think the reason why he feels that way is because he wrote a lot of the songs, so he feels like, and I think he's right, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. But then again, on the songwriting credits, it's almost always got DeMartini, Crosby, Juan Crucier. There's always a co-writer somewhere.
Yeah.
But Blotzer's name is very rarely on, especially the early days.
Yeah, well, it wasn't
on any fucking songs, man.
Not until, what was it, did he have one songwriting credit on Dancing Undercover? Or was it Reach for the Sky? One of the two.
For the Sky, bro.
Yeah, Reach for the Sky. Yeah, so what that? Fucking...
I have to go through my notes, but still.
Yeah.
This is right here. From that time, Blotzer was able to tour using the name RATT. Members that joined Fuckstick included Joshua Allen, Sin City Sinners on vocals, Michael Doc Ellis, Sin City Sinners Love and Hate, Todd Kearns and the Anti-Stars on guitar, Blaze the Swan Brothers on guitar, and Scott Griffin, Sin City Sinners, LA Guns on bass. Former bassist Robbie Crane replaced Griffin in March of 2016. In August 2016, Blotzer added Mitch Perry, Talus, Heaven Steeler, MSG, Lita Ford on guitar, Stacy Blades on Frady Cat, Rocks Gang, Super Cool, LA Guns, and Let It Rock. Half these bands I never fucking heard of.
Yeah, and all the big name bands, they're scabs. Like Stacy Blades was in LA Guns after Tracy, and fucking and replacements.
Y&T on bass, as Crane, Blaze, and Ellis went to work on their own projects. Yeah. The 2016 Reinvasion tour took RATT throughout North America on their own, and also accompanying many others, including Bret Michaels, Jack Russell's Great White, Warrant, LA Guns, Lita Ford, Steelheart Dokken, Down Tread, Trickster, Wiener, and more. They opened for Miranda Lambert during Buffalo Chip at the 2016 Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Oh my god, they're terrible. Also took them to the UK, including Hard Rock Hell in London. On April 12, 2016, it was announced that court had denied Blotzer's application for a temporary restraining order against the band's original bassist, Juan Crucier, explaining that neither party owns the group's trademark. And then on November 29th of 2016, as Blotzer prepared to proceed with these latest plans, Piercy, Crucier, and DeMartini made a statement claiming they had taken control of RATT after expelling Blotzer from the original partnership for using a RATT name and logo without talking to any of his former bandmates. With the show Pierce's lineup at M3 Rock Festival 2017 already booked, the three members also announced their own Back for More tour. The kickoff sold-out show scheduled that occurred in February before M3. So there you go. Mm-hmm. And right there, sold-out show. That tells you right there, man. You know, they're doing okay. You know, people are, they're gonna, I'm sorry, but guess what, Bobby? Fuckstick Blotzer. It matters.
Yeah.
In the case of this band, it matters if Stephen Piercy and those guys are there or not. Okay, I mean, you told me he wanted it to be like what, Foreigner or something.
Yeah,
it's like,
you know, because like Foreigner tour without any original members, you know, without fucking Mick Jones. You know, he comes out sometimes whenever he's fit or, you know, can be arsed. But, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're touring without any original members. But it's because they're more or less a faceless band. You know, they come up before the whole MTV craze hit. So not a lot of people really knew what Foreigner looked like. So they just see on a flyer or a poster, oh, Foreigner. Yeah, I remember hearing their shit on the radio. They don't know who the fuck's in the band, but he thought his vision was that his scab version of RATT was going to be like that. But no, RATT's a different ball game, you know.
Yeah, you know, he fucked up. He should have just kept it Bobby Blotzer's RATT experience.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
And you know, he was playing fairly good sized shows as Blotzer's RATT experience. He was playing 1,500, 2,000 people shows.
He was making a decent living. I don't know why he felt the need. And then, I'll get to that in a minute, but listen to this. So anyway, like I said, they did the M3 show, M3 Rock Festival in Minnesota with Jimmy DeGrasso on drums, who is also their drummer for the surprise show on the Monsters of Rock cruise in October 2016. Meanwhile, the judge ruled against Blotzer with respect to whether Crucier had committed trademark infringement by using the RATT name and logo to advertise his touring band in late 2015. On December 8, 2016, it was revealed that no judgment was filed for or against Blotzer, which led Blotzer to believe that he still owned the name through his company, WBS. On February 3, 2017, the court denied Blotzer's appeal and Crucier's RATT trademark infringement case. On January 23rd, 2017, vocalist Joshua Allen announced his departure from Fuckstick's version to pursue his own musical career. On March 5th, former Quiet Riot vocalist Shawn Nichols was announced as the new member. Nichols performed one date with Fuckstick's band on March 8th, 2017. No other dates as if this writing has been announced for Fuckstick's version. That's what it really says. It says it right there.
And we all lived happily ever after.
Yeah, it just, look, and I thought at the time when he was doing some of this silly shit, it was, like I said, it was one thing for him to do the Bobby Blotzer's RATT experience. Bobby Blotzer's RATT experience. That's one thing. I'm not an unreasonable guy. If he'd done all that, I don't think Steven and them would have been that upset about it, because he wasn't technically calling it RATT. He's just letting people know, hey man, I'm Bobby Blotzer from RATT. If you want to hear these songs performed live, you can listen to my band. But when he started calling it RATT, and then he gives those guys his platinum album.
Oh, that was the worst ever.
Oh my God. Like, I thought at the time, you are a fucking whore. You may as well just cut your nose to spite your face, dumb fuck. Like, seriously. What the fuck, man? So, as far as I'm concerned, fuck Blotzer. Like I said, from now on, he's Bobby Fuckstick.
He has been christened.
Yeah, he's just a fucking moron, it's funny because he accused the guys from the classic metal show of being haters. Well, hey, Bobby, if you're listening, I'm a fucking hater.
Yep.
Yeah, me. I don't like you. I think you're a fucking douchebag.
And if you want to come on the show so Mike can make fun of you, you're more than welcome.
Jesus Christ, dude. I can understand it if he was like somebody who actually, I don't know, had something to do with forming the band or writing the songs.
Mm-hmm.
You're the weakest link in that chain, fuckstick. I
Most
don't
replaceable
understand.
member.
He totally, dude.
And he has been replaced by a fucking drummer who's 20 times better. And, fucking love Jimmy DeGrasso.
Now, I'm not going to... Look, I can't drum to save my life, so I'm not going to rip on Blotzer's skill. I don't think Bobby's a bad drummer. Fuckstick, did you hear? I don't think you're a bad... But you're not. You're not. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, I'm going, dude, you are the weakest link in that chain. Like, what the fuck are you thinking, man?
Yeah.
And I don't give a what legal out, whatever, man. If you'd have owned 100% of RATT, you might have been able to get by with what you did legally.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't.
Yep.
And you're going to be sorry that you gave away all them fucking platinum records. You're probably asking them back, aren't you? Aren't you?
He's going to melt them down. He's going to need that
go
fucking
back to
gold.
your carpet business, buddy. Because I think your days of drumming for RATT are fucking over.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Over. It's really short-sighted and quite retarded.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to figure if the rest of the guys are willing to work with it kind of makes me wonder if Blotzer had to be the reason why Piercy walked. He had to have been, dude.
Yeah, he would have played a big part in it, I would imagine.
So I think what you need to do is come up with your own band. You can call it the Fuck Sticks, and just because dude, you're a fuck stick. You're just a fuck stick, man. I don't even want to refer to you as Bobby anymore. You're fuck stick, Blotzer to me from now on, because you're a fucking idiot.
Nice.
Fuck that guy, dude. Fuck that guy. Like, and I got news for you. It matters. Like they headlined M3 and it sold out. It fucking matters that Steve Piercy's there and Juan Crucier is there and Warren DeMartini is there. Mm-hmm. They are much more important than you are.
Yeah.
Fuck stick.
Absolutely. Killer. Well,
anyway, that's the end of my rant.
And we made it through RATT month.
I went through a few rants on this episode because those first.
But they were warranted. So.
Fuck fucking Desmond Childs and John. God damn, them motherfuckers have ruined so many bands I loved.
Yeah.
Bring me the head of Desmond Child.
On a spike.
All right, I didn't mean that. I don't want some wacko fucking mailing me Desmond Child's head in a box. Like, Metal Mike, I did it. Don't do that.
Yeah, I did it for you, man.
It's a fucking joke, guys. But yeah, seriously, oh my god. If they never fucking, Desmond just needs to stick to fucking producing for pop acts. Mm-hmm. Leave beloved hard rock and heavy metal bands.
Yep.
Anyway, Mac, I had a great time doing it. I know this was kind of an experiment, us doing a live show.
Yeah, we had a few hiccups, but no, I'm happy enough with how it went. So we'll just, I don't know, I can't see the numbers of how many people tuned in until after I end the session, so I'll let you know. But are we going to say what September is, or will we keep it under wraps for another few days?
Well, I'm kind of wanting to talk to you about that. So, but I'd rather do it off the mic.
Well, we can do that. Do you know what? We'll not announce nothing, but we'll just let everyone know that yes, another brand new theme month is coming up for September. But me and you will touch base tomorrow on that.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Awesome. Metal Mike Show, Friday night, as usual.
Yeah. Make sure you motherfuckers come by to listen, man. Check out that metal station. Check out all our DJs. And we will see you around, man. Stay metal, motherfuckers.
Awesome. Killer. And just to let you know that the Mind Over Metal live show on that metal station is on a hiatus for a while. keep you guys posted about the future of the show. But I just want to say thanks to everyone who supported the show on the station for the last year, and hope to be beating the shit out of your fucking eardrums again pretty soon. But now it's time for the plugs.
Hey everybody,
Before you do that,
and you need to check out the Metal Mike Show every fucking Friday night, 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Crusader of Metal Show, DJ Kane. Bringing metal to the masses every Sunday night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on thatmetalstation.com. The Doctor is in every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Buck takes over the airwaves, asking questions and letting give you your prescription of metal. That's right, the Dr. Buck Show, only on That Metal Station.
Hey, I'm Dr. Fuck.
And I'm the Ayatollah of Alcohola.
And we are from the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
If you want to check out some crazy, uncensored, unbiased, totally nuts reviews of classic hard rock and heavy metal albums, check us out. You can get us on Podbean and iTunes. New episodes every Sunday.
That's right. And we also do each other's moms.
True. Free of charge.
Well, mine charges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine's free.
Earpillar, the podcasting and interview news site. To keep up with your favorite bands or artists and the podcasts or interviews where they appear, go to earpillar.com to find out what we're all about.
You haven't listened to Mars Attacks podcast? What are you waiting for, man? Host Victor Emrois brings you all types of hard rock and metal-based podcasts. You'll find everything from music-based episodes, interviews, to series such as Ultra Sexy Classic Album Series, where some of your favorite musicians, producers, journalists, and show hosts comments on the albums that push the evolutionary chains of hard rock and metal. Get with it and go to MarsAttacksRadio.com to find out more.
All right, Kiss Army. Since 2007, you've been getting Podkissed, the Kiss audio fanzine for your ears.
That's right, it's your Podkissed. Every month, the Podkiss crew, along with the Kiss Room, brings you Kiss talk like no one else, whether it be roundtables, interviews with the band past and present, analysis, and great Kiss fun.
Hi, this is Ace Frehley, and you're listening to Podkiss.
Hi, this is Bruce Kulick, and you're listening to Podkiss.
The Podkissed, the Kiss audio fanzine for your ears.
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Chris.
And we're from the Decibel Geek Podcast. And if you love this...
then you'll love us.
That's right. Brand new episode every single Monday. You can find us on iTunes and at decibelgeek.com. And the best thing is, it's rock and roll and it's always free.
Hello. My name is Lee Gerstmann, and I have a podcast which is improvisational in time. The next episode might be 20 seconds away or it might be 20 years away, but it's called The Lee Gerstmann Show, and I do a lot of record reviews, but I also do editorials about women and food and other subjects, strange or otherwise. Feel free to take a listen to the Lee Gerstmann Show on Spreaker. Thank ya.